Welcome to the Manuchehri podcast. Over the last 30 years, it has been my joy to assist humanity in aligning with their magnificence so they may heal, discover their natural gifts, and communicate with loved ones living on the other side. May you also experience delight while we dance in the powerful, intuitive world of energy. Let's get going. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you're new, thank you. I hope you enjoy this podcast. I certainly do. Before I get to the phone lines, these voicemail messages that people leave, and I get to answer their questions, I wanted to talk about, again, this topic that may sound a little annoying, this topic about manifesting. For every experience in your life, there are multiple solutions vibrating around the original belief that you have about it. So they're like patches, if you will, or circles of subatomic particles that are creating different solutions for you. And the solutions exist within that energy. If you change the way you feel or believe, that solution moves into your auric field and plays out in your life. So there are numerous outcomes that could occur to any situation in your life. And I mean, good outcomes, really lovely outcomes, better than the one that you think is the only one that could be. So our mind is powerful, but energy is beyond power. It's beyond the beyond. If you can allow yourself to even get curious about a different outcome, you're already stepping into that reality. I was hanging out with a family member a couple years ago, and this family member took off their slippers and showed me their feet and told me that they needed bunion surgery. And I looked down at the feet and went, in my head, yeah, we got to get this person surgery. But I didn't say that. Remember, speaking your truth is something that you want to wait about. You want to give yourself a few minutes, moments. You don't want to just blurt something out, especially if something is as potentially necessary surgery, but also has potential side effects, or maybe that person doesn't want surgery. You don't know. You want to kind of sit with yourself for a moment, not react. When you feel a reaction coming on, you don't want to speak the reaction, because our truth is so powerful, and your throat chakra is all about speaking your truth. And so when you speak out into the world, it's like you're attracting attention. You're attracting the energy molecules to what you say. So you want to be a little bit more aware of what you really believe and what you believe is possible and what you really want. So I didn't say that. I thought it in my mind, because I was like, dang, I didn't know that these bunions were problematic like they are. And I know that they can be painful, because I've heard that from clients and patients before when I worked in the hospital. But instead, I was just quiet for a few moments and started to fall in love with these gorgeous feet. Just in love with them, just while I was standing there, just in love with them. And then what came out of my mouth was, well, you don't have to have surgery to have these healed. And the person looked kind of surprised that I would say that, because there was some, deformation occurring because of the bones. And bones are, the strongest substance we have in the physical world inside of our body. Like, they're strong. And so usually to get them to move requires saws and surgeries, right? It's not like they're just going to move back into place. But when I said that to this person, that person went, tell me more. And honestly, many, many times in my life, before I'm about to talk to a client about a health issue, or before I run into a family member or a neighbor, I get these ideas. I wake up with them. I may read about something, and I had just happened to have read about ways that you can alternatively help to heal bunions and get the bones to move back in place. And so I shared that. I don't know what this person did, quite frankly. We didn't talk about it after that. It just wasn't a part of our conversation. And I think a year and a half later, I saw this person again, and they showed me their feet, and the bunions were gone. They had not had surgery. And again, I don't know exactly what they did, but we know, because energy is more powerful than the brain, you want to visit these patches, if you will, or these circles within the energetic system around you that has different, new, non-traditional realities within them that are pleasing to the human brain, the human mind, the human body, like they're desirable, they already exist. And because they already exist, if we can get into them, which may have to do something with ourselves, right? May have to do something with our relationship with ourselves, with our belief of what we deserve, back to self-love again, or maybe just another person standing next to you and saying, well, you don't have to have surgery. Maybe that alone just can unlock someone's mind and have them move into an alignment with a different solution. But I was very pleased and happy and delighted. And I'm telling you all of this because energy is magic. It can transform and create a completely different reality, one that you love, one that's very fulfilling, one that you're super excited about and grateful for. But you have to visit it. You have to contemplate it. You have to let your mind be quiet and let yourself move into a different reality that already exists. It may not be fully functional in your human experience right now, but it could be. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be next year. But you have to visit it. You have to wish upon it. You have to feel its frequency, because there's a frequency of having a surgical procedure. And by the way, I'm not against surgery. I'm not against modern medicine. I personally don't care how a person decides to heal their body. It doesn't matter to me. It's just healing is required. Have I had many, many moments where I feel healing could occur in different ways, like this moment that I just described? Absolutely. But however a person chooses to do that is their own personal, unique choice. But I will always know, even if they're choosing a more complicated route or one that requires a lot of downtime, I will know that they didn't need that particular experience if that's something that I felt so spontaneously while I was standing next to them. Not just about healing the body, but about multiple things. That there are times when, well, probably many times where I've said to people that I don't think their job is in their best interest. Like, I don't feel joy about it around them. I don't think they're having fun. And because humans are, programmed to be fearful about not having enough wealth, that something terrible is going to happen. We're going to go live on the streets, that humans will stay in jobs they don't like, that rob them of energy because they're scared. And fear is an illusion, right? It's not a real emotion. It doesn't really exist. It's a mind-made experience that comes from the ego. So if I can get an individual to get curious about, there are work in the world where you would be happy, you would be filled, and you would be financially rewarded. If they can even just start to get curious about that, they're moving into one of those patches of subatomic particles that are already created, that if they can sit with it and visit with it and spend some time with it, then it's going to materialize in their life. So I just wanted you to know that, how magical you are, how magical the world is, and that every incredible outcome you could potentially experience already exists. It's already in vibration. It's already in frequency. It just wants to come in. If you just sit with it, get curious about it, feel it out. Right? Like, ooh, what would that be like? What would it be like if I was an entrepreneur and I created things effortlessly that allowed me to have a lot of freedom in my life? Most people want that, want freedom in their life. Okay, so when you're about to make a decision about something, and let's say you don't like it, but for whatever reason you think that's the only solution out there, take a few steps back. Take some time. Ask yourself, is that true? Are there other potential outcomes available for me on this particular topic? The answer is always yes. And then ask yourself, what would bring me the greatest joy? Spontaneous healing, great friends and family around me, wonderful adventures, phenomenal love, great wealth. Ask yourself what you want, because the desire is really your higher self hanging a carrot in front of you, trying to get you to get moving towards that patch of subatomic particles and implementing it, allowing it to move into your life instead of, no, this is the only way this can be resolved. This is it. Now, even if we choose that, that's okay. We're not going to be annoyed or disappointed with ourselves, but let's give ourselves some time. Let's feel into the possibilities, and let's let those beautiful options that are already created and available to you, let's let them sprinkle into your reality and become a part of your life, because you deserve it. And the more we do this, the more we become free, the more we evolve, the more we move into more of our authentic truth of who we are. It's very exciting. Okay, I'm going to the phone lines now, or whatever we want to call them.
Hi, Marie. It's Lynn from Canada. I've been doing meditation just for the last few months now, and I've been healing my hips from the arthritis and taking the serrapeptase that you talk about. Now, I can't say it's working yet. It may be a little bit too soon. Anyways, so my question to you is while I'm meditating, is my healing in the hips of the arthritis decreasing? Because I'm 70 and was told that I would need 2 hip replacements. And I do feel as if that something is happening to me, which I'm very, very grateful for. How many guides and angels that are surrounding me, because I do believe that even though I can't hear them or see them, or I know that they are there. Anyways, I'm very grateful for all that you're doing for everybody. I wish you a great day, and thank you for all the great work that you're doing. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lynn. I'm glad that you feel that something is happening, because that's really the vibrational component we want to connect into. Is we want to feel it. We want to feel that it's happening. We want to have a knowingness about it. And it isn't that you can't see or hear any type of creature, a guide, or some form of spirit in the non-physical realm. It's just that you haven't run your energy up high enough so that your abilities are available. So it's kind of like when your energy is elevated, it's like plugging in your multisensory abilities. When our energy is not very high, they're not plugged in. It's kind of like the camera that I use for Riverside, which is where I record the podcast. I have to use a specific camera because it's the only one I like with Riverside, but it has some issues. So I have to unplug it, take the battery out. I have to do all this weird stuff. I'm working on changing my belief about it so I can have a different experience. But as soon as I do that, after I take the battery out and I put it back in and then I plug it in, it works great. So this is the same thing about psychic abilities. You need to have your energy in a certain frequency, a vibration of joy, right? A personal experience of joy for yourself. And there are many things we can feel joyful about. There isn't just one thing, but many things that make us joyful. And then it's like plugging in the camera and it works. Your intuitive abilities will work. You already have the feeling, which is great. Having the feeling that something is occurring is beautiful. I would do near infrared and red light therapy. I have a few clients who have been told that they need a joint replacement, and they decided to try near infrared and red light therapy, and it worked. In other words, they had full or almost full range of motion and no pain. So that's exciting, right? That's exciting. So that's what I would do. I like platinum therapy, Red Rush. I'm sure there's other companies out there that I'm not aware of, but those are the 2 that I've been drawn to. And hips are about moving forward in one's life. And so for you, I would think that raising your vibration would be a forward movement for you and could help reduce, the problems in your hips. And it's connected to the second chakra, which is all about joy too. But congratulations in feeling. That's excellent. Now let's just get the momentum going so that you have more auditory and visual sensations with yourself and the universe. All right. Thank you.
Hi there, Marie. I am touching base with you because I really want some guidance. I've been having a lot of dreams lately about basically being called to help people ascend into New Earth. And I guess I just need some guidance and somebody to talk to about this push that I keep feeling that I should be doing something. I am already an empath, but I would really love to deepen my abilities and learn more and connect with my guides. So I was hoping that you can guide me a little bit or let me know if my guides have some messages for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Well, you're in good company. About 50% of the population is empathic. And then we can see that 50% of the population is not empathetic, at least not right now. And that's okay. There's nothing better or worse about a guide's or a soul's age, right? They're all just learning different things. I think this push, I like it. I think it's authentic. And I can speak from experience of that push because I had a great desire and a vision to bring something different to the people I worked with when I was a nurse in the hospital, to the patients, that was different than what we were already providing for them. And because I was raised in holistic medicine, I wanted something even beyond that. Although I think energy medicine is a form of holistic medicine, but it's also medical intuitive diagnoses. But I wanted something different. I wanted something different to offer patients and people that I knew out in the general public who were having challenges with their health. And I think something had to change in with me in order for me to allow that in, for my ability to medically intuitively diagnose, which is really about stagnant energy and repressed emotions and getting everything to move in the body so that we can raise our vibration and create new outcomes, right? New scenarios, so that we can eradicate the way it was built in the body energetically that's led to a dis-ease, so we can build something into a healing experience for the body. And I had this great vision or this push. I like it. I think it's a good thing. But I really needed to participate with myself, not because I had health challenges of any sort at the time, of course, but I needed to actually work with myself. I needed to ascend. I needed to ascend my consciousness. I needed to have the awareness so then I could pass it on to others. And that's what I think the universe is asking you to do. So what I did, and because I tried meditating on my own for a while and I wasn't very successful at it, I joined a meditation group and I took it twice, and it was 6 weeks each time. And we meditated in groups in a person's home. And it helped me enormously to get into that frequency of higher vibrations so that I could hear messages and learn information. And this push isn't just about helping others in the ascension. It's about helping yourself in the ascension so that you can help others to ascend. That's what it's about. It's very exciting. So I would do that. Find a meditation group and look for a leader who's aware and conscious and already open to their own knowingness. That would be great. I think that would be phenomenal. That would be very helpful for you. But this is exciting and it's excellent. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Marie. This is Anastasia from California. I guess I'm partially calling just to say hi and to ask. I just feel like maybe there's something I'm supposed to be doing that I'm not actually doing.
Yeah.
I feel so happy.
Good.
I feel great in my body and in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a little bit like maybe my work is done with my kids to some extent. And so
Agreed.
What is next for me?
Yes.
If you have any intuitive hits or any, if anything jumps out at you about what's happening in my life, my aura, something I'm missing, I would love to hear it. And again, thank you. Blessings. Bye.
Hello, Anastasia, and hello to the whole family. It was nice to hear your voice. Lovely. So, yeah, you are supposed to do something besides raise children, and your kids are adults, so you're fired. I mean, you will always have a connection with them, but I think it's long since been time for you, where you have something that's just for you. You know, at least I think you know, I believe it is in the multisensory world. It is what brings you great joy, angels and guides and creation and love. I mean, it raises your vibration so incredibly fast. I think what needs to happen is you need to take action. You don't have to know everything about it. You don't even have to have it completely figured out. In fact, I think when we have such a planned out game plan, it hinders us. I think it's fun to be surprised, but I think you need to start taking action. So think of something or sit and maybe put a few things around you, like put a deck of tarot next to you, put some teacup with coffee grounds or tea grounds in it, put a book of energy medicine on it, put a book, and I'm talking about the table, a book of mediumship on it. And other people can do this too. So anything that comes up for you, Anastasia, in the multisensory world that you've had interest in, that you like, and put these things around you. And I want you to sit there, get happy, feel the vibration of the divine and see which one of these things kind of jumps out at you, meaning it might wiggle. The table might vibrate when you look at one of these things that I'm recommending. You might just feel like, one of these items is just floating on the table and coming right to your chest. You're going to have like a multisensory experience because you're ready. You can't have any more excuses. They're all grown up. I think lots of people get caught up in, well, I'll do this and then I'll do that and then I'll do this and then I'll do that before I let myself have my own independence. Luckily, we live a long time now, so we can raise an entire family to adulthood and then dive into something that's phenomenal for ourselves, which will be great for the rest of the world too. Raising lovely people is great for the rest of the world too. I mean, that's a very big, wonderful accomplishment to have kind, loving people on the planet who are raised by loving, kind people. I mean, that's a good thing. So that's what I would do. And then you have to take action. You have to do tarot readings or mediumship readings or energy work or whatever else I said. I can't remember what else I said. That you're going to have to go out in the world and do that. Maybe go to a psychic fair, ask if you can pull up a booth, give free readings to your neighbors and your friends. Because you're in a physical realm, you have to take physical action. And does that mean everybody? Maybe not everybody, but most of humanity has to take physical action in order to get the ball rolling and something new for themselves. Some people can manifest while sitting at home and not participating in it, but very few, because you may have to go out the door to meet certain people that can then lead you in a path that allows you to grow your desires out into the physical realm. So I'm very excited for you because I can sense just a little bit of boredom. And I know you're happy. Thank goodness. You've been happy for a long time. This is when you want to take action, is when things feel good. Yeah. You want to take action when things feel good. So I'm excited. Keep me posted. I can't wait to hear all about it. Thank you.
Hi, Marie. My name is Vesela. I'm originally from Bulgaria, but currently living in Perth, Western Australia. I have a question about some psychic ability. I used to have them when I was a kid. I used to receive messages when I was young, but having a family member who had the psychic abilities, at the time I was told not to express them because they thought that they are cursed.
Right.
My great grandma used to be a healer, and people would come to her, and she used to read their situation with a cup of flour, and she used to throw it into a wall and read the situation and suggest what the people should do. But she was so overwhelmed of the people and the amount the amount of information she was receiving, plus raising a family, that she thought that it's not good for any girl to do that for
It's not true.
the rest of their life. So she didn't teach my mom or my auntie. I still know that some of the family members have those abilities, but for different reason, or living in a post-communist country where those abilities wasn't appreciated, it's affecting their ability, or they stop using those abilities. My question is, did I have them? Did I still have them? And should I proceed a career in that field? Or I received some messages from my mom, which passed away a few years ago, and my dad as well. I received more messages from her, not from him directly. But I still wonder, should I proceed career in that or not? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm happy that your family members talked about intuition and psychic ability. What can make a reader, worn out and it's overwhelming is you have to be really grounded to do psychic work. And some people don't think that. They think, oh no, you have to be disconnected and kind of out of your body and let your energy fly up to the heavens. But you actually have to be very, very grounded. I think All of my siblings are very psychic too. I'm the only one who has a professional career in the psychic realm. Some of them are just turned off by the idea, like they don't want to pursue that kind of work. They're not interested in it. And some of them are a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So they're not grounded enough, right, to really allow themselves to, they have too many conspiracy theory ideas that rock their world and make it feel uncomfortable. So you have to be really grounded. You have to be super grounded. That means you have to be present. So I don't think that's a problem for you, but I could see how that could have been a problem for other people. And then when you work in the intuitive world, you have to have rules for yourself. You have to know when you're overworked, when you're over limit. I could have seen many, 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 many more people than I have, even though for a long stretch of my career, I would see 25 people a week, which didn't bother my energy system. And it was great for me. And I was at home and I had an assistant in the house so that when the kids came and went, my assistant could take care of things or let me know if things were going on, if I was in session when the kids were home. So it worked out really great. But I've always had a waiting list because I will not book myself beyond what I can manage. If it's going to make me feel ungrounded because I'm doing too much work, then I won't allow myself to do that. And so you have to recognize your own limitations and your own boundaries. And sometimes we have to take a lot of time off. Like I try not to work much in the month of September. I don't teach other than a retreat typically throughout the entire summer. So you really have to allow yourself to be grounded. So you chose this family for a really good reason, and it is for the psychic abilities. Yes, you have them. Yes, you can have a profession, but let's start using them. Let's start having fun with them. Let's start playing with them. You're going to need to raise your vibration, get a little bit happier because I don't feel a lot of happiness. I can feel your intelligence and your intellect. Lovely. I can actually feel you're grounded. So that's not a concern of mine, but you need to get happier. And so try not to think of the history of why certain people in the family couldn't do readings or people who said not to. Just focus on the fact that, wow, there's psychic people in your family. That's cool. And you chose to be part of that dynamic. You chose that before you reincarnated. You wanted to be born into a family that was psychic, that had natural psychic abilities. So let's start working with it and playing with it. And then you can figure out how you want to use it in a career. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Kara and I'm from Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, nice.
And I am wondering about visualization. I am not able to visualize as far as I can tell. Anytime I try to do a visualization meditation, I can only think about what something looks like and not
Right.
actually picture it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if you can take a look at my third eye or my energy in general and just see if it seems like I am actually incapable of visualizing or if it's a matter of blocking it or fear. Thank you, and thanks for all that you do.
Thank you, Kara, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Love Asheville, gorgeous. We're looking at one of the hotels to teach a retreat next year, close to you. We're still working on that. It takes a little while. Once you find a place, then you have to work out all these other, dates and times and things of that nature. So first of all, I would never say again that you can't visualize. People don't have to visualize in order to have multisensory experiences or to have your intuition turn on. It's not a requirement. Many things are auditory. Many things are clairsentient, meaning you feel it through your body. But you just have this weird belief that you can't visualize, but you're actually a very good visualizer. And I've said this before to a few other people that have been in my life or are currently in my life who are excellent psychics, but did not know that they were actually visualizing. They just assumed that everybody's brain worked the way their brain works. And so they think that they're not visualizing. Your third eye looks great. In fact, it's such a dark purple, which is really the color that I want it to be, like so dark, it's almost black. It looks like midnight. It's beautiful. It has gorgeous grid lines in it. So try not to get caught up in, I need to visualize. Just enjoy the meditation, whether you are visualizing it or not. When I listen to a meditation on visualization, I do not follow the visualizer. the person who's leading the meditation. I personally don't. I'm not trying to not do it. I just allow myself to have my own experience. When I'm teaching through meditation in a class, I tell many of the participants, if your experience is going faster than my words, go for it. If your experience is going slower than my words, stay slow. Run it. Just allow yourself to have whatever experience you naturally want to have. I would be more curious about that. I'm way more interested in that than following some type of, outcome that we're supposed to have when we're meditating or, having some sort of experience. So don't be convinced that you don't visualize. We don't know. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. There are a lot of psychics who don't see, but they hear. There are many psychics who feel, but maybe don't visualize. And really, when it comes to professional psychic, we just want to have a knowingness. We don't care how the experience gets to us. We don't care if we get a feeling one day or we hear something with the next client or we feel something all day long with the next group of people. We don't care. We just want to have the knowingness. So kind of let go of whatever you think visualization is or means, because I don't think you really know. I don't think you've allowed yourself to have the consciousness of the awareness, but I do think you're having the experience. And you have a perfect third eye. I mean, stunning. I hope that's helpful. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast today and all the people whose questions I was able to answer today. Thank you so much. I'm currently teaching. I'm teaching self-love. It's an 8-week course. And I'm also teaching preventing and healing disease, which is a 12-week course. That's on Thursday. And then in a few weeks, I will be teaching a class on the Shift Network. It's about translating medical intuitive knowledge. And that will be on a Monday, starting in a few weeks. You can find all of that information on my website, or you can go to the Shift Network and find out about the class that I'm teaching there as well. It's on both places, my website and the Shift Network. Have a beautiful and lovely day. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye.